like she's trying to, and she's doing it really well. Like she's trying to
play it out. And
yeah. And I was seeing people in the comments like, oh, you should have called him out. You should have called him out. You don't understand when women are in this.
Professionalism as
It's
well,
not even
or-
just professionalism.
yeah.
This is the age of femicide in Kenya. Like, we are not conditioned as women to call out men, especially when their behavior is scaring us. Because you
Really?
never know how that can end for you.
But I do have a question even about that, because we can still pivot back and come back to branding, because we've talked about branding, but we can always come back. But this is also like an issue that you represent and try and
Yes.
just speak out about, like all the injustices that are happening around femicide.
Yes.
And like even when they're doing such a thing, like such a video, how do you know, like how are men supposed to know where to draw the line between like this is playful and this is sexual harassment? Because like even clearly from that video, you could see like the debates like on TikTok. There's some people
There
who are
was
like,
nothing playful about that.
no, listen.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not me saying.
I'm not, no.
We are saying.
I'm talking
no,
about
no,
the
yeah.
situation.
I'm saying about if you go to the comment
Yeah,
section,
yeah.
you know how TikTok is. And if you want
Yeah.
feedback to know like how people think, go to
the
TikTok.
comments, yeah.
Because now
And
you know where
X.
you're saying like, yo, that's too sensitive. Somebody can't write something like that. Somebody has their face, profile and everything, and they've posted what they think.
Yeah.
And you would see how crazy people like just are, like, you know, to the extent that people can express like how they feel.
Yeah.
And you would see like, you know, guys are like, that's just normal. She's just flirting around and everything. But that's how like the young people are thinking.
Yeah, that's really
Because you see it on the comments. And that's the crazy part. Is like, I'm always trying to tell people, like, even when you hear somebody like, you say like the guy who, you've been to femicide marches, right?
Yep.
A lot of them or all of them?
The first one
This
I
one
went
and then-
for was the one January last year, and then I went
Okay.
for all the rest.
Remember last year when that thing was going on, there was this guy, there's a time like a group of women who were marching, they bumped into this guy who was saying like, me by the
Tutawaua!
yeah.
Tutawaua! Yeah,
Exactly.
I saw him.
And I was telling people like, even just women, I was just trying to say like, you know, it's very important to understand when somebody like that says something like that, they're not joking.
They're not.
They're serious.
They're not.
But you should have a conversation with such a person so that you understand. No, listen. You understand and give me time because I know it's already, I can already see it's taking you off already. You need to have a conversation with this person to understand why they think the way they think and why they think it's correct for them to say like, I will kill, because he said I will kill and he means it. Because this person, once the matches are over, is in town, there are people who are going to get in a matatu with the same guy. This guy said if you cross him the wrong way, if you eat his money or something, he will kill you. Understand this is somebody who moves every single day with people's daughters, aunties, and mothers next to him, either if it's in a matatu, public areas, public spaces, offices, he is there. So why not talk to him, understand how he thinks? And even in the States, they do this a lot. They interview serial killers, they interview child molesters. I don't know if you've seen like the popular one. They're asking this guy, like, how do you pick like even kids that you can take advantage of? And he starts saying like, you know, if there's no strong father figure, that's the first kid that I approach because I know there's nobody who's going to come and attack me violently or just like make me feel uneasy, like somebody will look for me. But if there's no father figure, strong father figure in the house, that's the first, excuse me, that's the first person that they approach. But you will see all these things. They interview like rapists, they interview murderers, like proper serial killers. They sit them down, always switch, and even like in interrogation rooms, they light up the camera and then they start talking to them. Just to understand, because when you see people or young kids or boys writing those things on the comment section, they're the serial killers.
Bless you.
Bless me. They're the serial killers who are coming up in the next 10, 15 years. And you'll notice
It's
now, we're having a lot of copycat killers. it's not like how Kitambo it used to be like,
I think
somebody
it's
has
'cause
just
of,
killed.
Information access. You see,
Yeah, social media,
this Jeffrey Dahmer guy
Yeah.
on Netflix. You're like, ooh,
Chopping up bodies, all those. They never used to be there like
yeah.
Kitambo.
So now you're getting ideas.
Getting ideas. But we see, now that's also like another thing you understand.
Yeah.
That's influence as well. Somebody has seen like, oh, this guy was
That
on the
is
news for this
influence.
and everything.
And that guy is not even like looking for a brand deal.
He's not looking for a brand deal. So even him is like, if I'm going to kill, I would kill and make sure it's this way, because most of them, like, even when they're caught, they just chill. You don't see them like crying on him. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
They're unmoved.
Scary stuff.
It's very scary. But that's what I'm saying. It's important to understand what makes men think like that.
Yeah.
And the only way you can know
Is
and
by
help
asking them.
is by asking.
Here's
So-
my thing with that though.
Yeah.
I hear you like, okay, yeah, that's a very interesting perspective, but these conversations should be happening from jail cells, okay? In Kenya, our criminal justice system is so flawed.
Yeah.
People don't go to jail for doing the crazy things they do to women. Police themselves do crazy things to women. So there's no accountability. So I don't think we're in a position to start having a conversation about, oh, let's try and understand where they are coming from without first getting them off the streets. Because all these femicide cases, who has been arrested for femicide? Let me take you back to the Kware incident.
Yeah.
Guys, this story for Kware, like, I hope we never forget.
Which one is it? What are you talking about?
Kware dump site, when the bodies of 11 women were uncovered, and there were way more.
Is this during the Mandamano and stuff?
It was shortly after. It
Okay.
was around that period. of
Oh,
June,
yeah. And then
they were
okay.
found in a dump site, which by the way is behind a police station. What I found so interesting is civilians and civil society groups are the ones who are uncovering these bodies. What are the police doing? The police are tear gassing them, trying to remove them from there, when the police should in effect actually be looking for these bodies also.
Yeah.
Right? And then quiet. And then some guy walks into a police station, takes accountability, says, I killed all those people. Right? And then 2 weeks later, the guy breaks out of jail.
That was the funniest thing.
Yeah, no,
I've
let me
never
tell
heard
you,
of such a ridiculous
Kenya
thing.
is a joke.
That was a big joke.
Kenya is a joke. A very big joke. So you can't tell me we're in a position to start talking to these people to try and understand their mindset.
Yeah.
Before we even get them off the streets. Our number one priority should be to make sure these people face the system and stay in the system.
Yeah.
A person who is very, very close to me was kidnapped in a bolt. And yeah,
A lady?
sort of, yeah, I guess. You can say that biologically. But
Oh, hold on.
no, let's not digress.
Oh, okay, yeah,
because
that
that's
will
not
be
the
that will be a
point.
whole other.
Yeah, that's not the
we'll
point.
just
Was kidnapped. And yes, at this time, the criminal was taken to jail. But when they went back for a court hearing, this person had come out on bail and was just walking around. Can you imagine how traumatizing that is?
I know.
To go into a courtroom and to see people who kidnapped you free, and then they walk out with you through the same door and they go about their business. So what is that? What are we doing to take care of women? President Ruto allocates 100 million to fight femicide. Do you know the state of gender-based violence rescue centers in Nairobi? They eat the same food as prisoners. Yes. And many of these women have children. Many of these women, if those men find them, will kill them.
True.
What money are we giving to survivors? What money are we, what sensitivity training are we doing for police? Do you know that if you get raped today and you go to a police station to report it, you're so likely to get re-traumatized because they'll make you live through the events of the day over and over. They won't treat you with any care. They'll just traumatize you again to the point where now people are scared of reporting. And even if I do report, what's going to happen? So without reporting, we should have like a published sex offenders list.
That would be good. Like
That
the
would be
States.
good. But here, like, sex offenders are everywhere all the time,
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
They can be your lecturers. They can be your friends. Fans are your friends. And anywhere you go, I guess, even when you talk about someone who has violated another person, there will always be someone to come to their defense. And that's just what really sickens me. you know?
Now, I do have like a question like on that. But do you think it's important just for people, both men and women, to have that discussion? Because at times I don't think women at times understand what men are capable of.
Mm,
Because
I
like,
disagree with that.
no. I'm telling you because at times like, and even think about like even when you hear about incidents that we see like even online, at times I think women need to understand that men they can be dangerous. And even at times like when maybe it's playing advocacy and everything, but please still notify and make sure that young girls understand that men can actually harm you if they want to.
I think actually we are very aware of that. And it's like people are scared.
No,
You
no.
know,
I want. No, can I?
Cha-
You
cha-
okay? Okay.
I'm running a series actually called We Are Not Safe.
Yeah.
And I've been filming for it because I want to get enough videos before I post.
Okay.
And I'm still dabbling with the name because I know We Are Not Safe is like a hashtag, so I don't know if I can use that. But like, yeah, something around those lines. And I've been asking young women in Kenya, do you feel safe living in Kenya? And even young men, by the way, I've been asking them the same question. But back to young women, we don't feel safe. We know that today I get in this Uber. Do you know the hypervigilance? Kwanza, forget even Ubers, public transport. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. In matatus, and imagine no one will stand up for you. It's very hard. I've
Yeah.
been in a position where I've been harassed in a matatu. Some guy had his hand on my leg. And
Like whole hand like
yes,
this.
his whole hand on my
By
leg.
mistake or he's
No,
holding your thigh?
how can I put my
No,
hand
listen.
here by accident?
No, actually, honestly, understand when I'm asking. I'm not those ones of like Atikwani. How would he put a hand? No. I'm asking those ones like guys. I'm just trying to understand like somebody who can
It
seriously
was
do that.
very
Like
much
just
on purpose. I was on my way from Kiserian,
yeah.
and his hand was on my thigh, and I kept telling him to stop, and I kept getting louder, telling him to stop, and nobody in the matatu even
So his
turned
hand is still
around.
there?
Yeah,
He's
until
not moving
now,
the hand.
Until now, someone got off the matatu and I switched seats, but nobody said anything and nobody came to my defense, which is like, I'm sure that that's not like your typical situation. I'm
True.
sure that someone somewhere would have said something.
Yeah.
I think there's a video I saw trending of someone standing up for someone else in a matatu. I don't remember the details, but that's my experience and I'm saying it here.
Yeah.
So the hypervigilance, I remember like going home and having my shower that day and just scrubbing my leg, like, I just felt so,
Nasty, violated.
yeah, exactly. Like, why would you just touch me like that?
Yeah.
So I think we know, women know, girls know, and also we are conditioned. Ever since we are young, we are told, oh, your uncle is coming over, go put on some trousers. So
Yeah.
it's a conditioning that we have in our heads. Like, why am I supposed to change what I'm wearing in my house because of a man coming over?
But
Because we've been conditioned to be told men can't control themselves. And even men start to believe this narrative.
I want to jump in there. Like you see, even the same thing that you've said, like even, and that's important even for people to understand, and even just have an open discussion. Not that I'm trying to protect these people, attacking these people, but I'm just saying, like, for somebody to say that to you, if it's a mother or if it's your dad, it's like, oh, visitors are coming, we'll go and dress properly. It's like uncles and ninnies. It's like, then again, it still takes me back to, that's why I'm telling you, like, the only person who can explain to you how dangerous men are, it's men. Because that's why, like, even for me, I can walk in a certain street and I would just see guys based on how they are dressed and I would cross the street.
Are you
As a guy,
profiling them?
100%. No, 100%. 100%. If I see with a lot of silver jewelry, safari boots, or certain sneakers,
Wait.
I'm crossing to the other side. And remember, I'm doing that. I do not care whether it's profiling or not. It's because, like, I already know. Like, I either make this decision now or in the next few seconds.
You could regret it, but you don't want to take that chance.
So I'm not taking you call me like profiling sour, me, I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
But it's safety first. But that's what I'm saying, like, it's so important because men know. And that's why, like, you'll even notice, like, even, let's say if there's, before you start seeing, like, in normal sense, like, even if it's in town, if, like, I bump into someone, it's a guy or like regardless. But even let's just say normal cases, a girl, of course, I'll say. But if it's a guy, I'm always like, hey, I say, bro, sorry. Because, and even him, chances are very high, even him, he'll say sorry. Because we just don't know what the other person is capable of.
But then again, and I want to challenge this narrative of let's talk to our girls. Even the president stood there and he said, I'm aware of the femicide crisis. Let's talk to our girls, not to accept no. Like we need to bring the conversation to men
let's
and
talk
tell
about that,
our men to stop killing women, to stop raping women, to stop harassing women, even with your words. The likes of Kina Andrew Kibe. It can and I don't think also guys understand like gender-based violence is verbal. It's a mindset. And that's something I'm so heavy on advocating for. People think that gender-based violence is if you took your arm right now and you beat me up because I'm a woman. But it happens when you make me uncomfortable and you can tell that you're making, like right now, if I was to behave in a certain way, you'd know I'm not feeling very comfortable.
No, I wouldn't.
And you keep persisting.
Wait. Is that why you had to bring your bestie? Hey, listen, I always ask this on their podcast because you know why? Hold on, I'll explain. I don't get offended by the because I always ask by the because at times there's this girl that I interviewed, right? And I remember we were just talking, and from that day I always ask like all the girls just after or during the podcast. So I asked her like, hey, by the way, we're talking about so many different things, and then I think we're talking about like gender-based violence.
Yeah.
And she said like, like even for me, even when I was coming here, I really have kubeba like something on my handbag. I'm like what do you mean? Like I have a knife on my.
Whoa.
So I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm like, okay, wait. So when I invited you to the podcast, the first thing you did is like, okay, Sarah, you go through my profile and say like, okay, Sarah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I could see you have like a studio. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But let me not lie to you. It's funny that you asked that question because I didn't feel unsafe.
Yeah.
And that is not why I brought my friend. I didn't know what to expect. If I knew actually she'd be in the other room, I wouldn't have asked her to come. But when you opened the door, like when I rang the bell and then you opened the door, that's when I was like, I don't know him, by the way. Like, this is the first time we met.
You realize that.
That is, I actually did have that thought in my head. I was like, oh. But at the same time, like, someone knows where I am, and then immediately I felt comfortable again.
Did you drop, like, locations to, like, people close to you and stuff?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. I always ask. So now I talk to this girl.
Because I don't know you.
Oh, no, I understand. That's just taking... And you see, oh, wait, is that profiling?
No, that's not profiling. It's just that
you can say yes. You can say yes. No, but it's just taking precaution, just in case.
Yeah.
And that's why I was explaining to you, I have to cross the street if I'm just like,
and this is a residential area also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that I understand. So, like, the lady, I was talking to her, and then I'm like, so you have it here in your bag? She's like, yeah. I'm like, but let me see
I like her.
On the podcast, she opens. She has, like, a big-ass knife that has a pink handle.
Where can I get one of those?
So, and I'm asking her, like, yo, but now she explained. Now we start talking. She's been raped over 5 times.
Oh.
Since she was, like, in primary. With relatives, people she knows, and all that. So it's happened. Teacher, primary school teacher, and all that. So she's gone through all that. But as we were talking, I just understood where she's coming from. And that's why I'm like, I understand, like, why you have it. But, just after we were done with the episode, she was like, hey, but I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me feel safe and everything. But I was telling her, like, as you should, that's just precaution.
Yeah.
Because, like, nobody knows. Nowadays, we see so many crazy stories, like, online.
Yeah.
And even for me, like, if it's my sister, I would want her to take the same precaution. So just take precaution. There's nothing like you can profile, you can take, like, just say, like, for safety, drop a pin to your friends. And then there was another app that I was shown, like, you can connect, like, a circle of your friends, where if you're somewhere, it just shows where you are last, like, every 30 minutes. It sends, like, there's an app. I've forgotten the name, but I'll figure it out and then.
That's cool. Like, if I was, like, a more outside person, that would be that.
So you can create a network
of
friends, family. You can create different networks, but they all kind of know, like, where you are.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So I mean,
I
so
mean, I
understand about
probably need that as an activist.
you have to, and even just advising other like young girls too.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And then there's something that we're touching on, like you said about conversation about. You said the president said, or was it like? Was it the
we need
president?
to tell our girls. To tell our girls.
What exactly? We need to tell our girls
to stop
taking money from men.
Not yeah.
There's
taking money
somebody. There's
from
somebody
men,
who said
something
that
about
as well.
seeing strangers.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't quote Ruto directly on that, but it was basically about advising our girls to take precaution against men with ill intent. And that really bothers me, especially because you're the president. Why don't you address the men directly? Why don't you? You know the way he came and he told protesters that he will deal with us thoroughly. Why can't he stand there and tell men you will deal with them thoroughly, Mr. President? Why don't you say that?
But I think why that would be the case, or even you'd hear like other ladies. There's a lady, I don't know if it's a senator or governor, who said something, and she got so much backlash for that because she said a lot of our women are dying because of desperation or greed for money.
I think I remember
that conversation.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, okay.
What do you feel about that? And then I can respond.
About
her statement.
About her statement, I think it's wrong.
Okay.
Because it's the same thing that we are talking. Let me tell you, all these issues are interlinked. It's the same thing that we are talking about when we are talking about this Densu thing. Mm-hmm. I am never going to turn and look at the creators and say this is your fault. I am never going to turn and look at women and say you deserved to die because this guy promised to maybe he promised you X, Y, Z. As a woman, you are free to know what you want to take from men and what you don't. And if you want to take money from men in exchange for relationships, in exchange for sex, imagine you're very okay to do that. I don't have a problem with anyone who does that, and you don't have, like, nobody has the right to tell you that you deserve rape or you deserve to be killed because that's the decision you made. You should be able to make your decision and not suffer for it. The person who needs to suffer is the person who would do such a thing to someone.
I have a question. And again, devil's advocate. I'm not supporting or defending anyone.
Yeah, it's good journalism.
Yeah. Is prostitution legal or illegal in the country?
It's illegal, but I think...
So it's a criminal offense?
Yes, you're not supposed to do sex work.
Yeah. So.
But wait, let me ask you something. No.
Hey.
Devil's advocate. Devil's advocate.
Okay.
Devil's advococate.
I haven't even said anything.
Taking money in exchange for sexual favors is what you call prostitution. Like, what is it? Yeah. I don't know the law like that.
Prostitution.
Okay, so if I have a sugar daddy, I'm doing something illegal.
No, that's a relationship. We're talking about, like, it's like buying drugs.
A relationship with someone, but it's for that period of time.
No. I think we both know how it works. It's somebody, like, and even nowadays it could be like just an online communication transaction, and like I'm saying, like, anybody can do whatever they want.
Let me tell you.
But I'm just trying to say that
sex work is work too. Let me start by saying that. So yes, sex work is work too. Like, sex work is work, and prostitution is a profession, and people
Kenya?
do it all the time. Like, it's a profession in general. It might be illegal, but I still think that it shouldn't be. And I think that...
You don't think prostitution should be legal?
I don't think so. I think that we need to safeguard women. Like, that's going to be my point of view. And sex workers. Why? Because also men engage in sex work, Men engage in sex work as the consumers of it. It's not something that's ever going to go anywhere. Yet women suffer so much because of lack of regulation, lack of safety. It's never going to go anywhere. Okay, let me not talk about the other thing because I'm on a camera. But
it's too sensitive.
No, like, just, we talked about our brands. But
okay,
when it comes to sex work, I really do think, like, people are going to do it anyway. I can use abortions as an example. Till now, I don't get why abortions are illegal in Kenya. This is, again, you're trying to police what women do with their own bodies. If I want to use my body in exchange for sex, a profession as old as time, then I can be able to do that. It's not for the government to tell me whether I should or should not.
Can I ask a question on the abortion thing? Does it matter like how long the fetus has developed?
I think so, because here's my perspective. Number one, let me start by outlining that it could, in case like maybe even you're 6 months along, and this could cause a health risk to both you and the child, where one of you could end up dead, both of you, no, most times it'll be the mother to end up dead, or both. Then I think in that case, like, that's a non-negotiable.
So we can agree for health reasons first,
Yes.
that should be the first priority.
Yes.
What
But I
the
do think we
second-
also live in a world now where it's hard for you to get, if you don't want to get pregnant, number one, it's hard for you to get pregnant if you're having sex consensually, right?
Yeah.
It's 2025. We have lots of options
So many
available
different-
to
yeah.
both women and men
Yeah.
for contraception.
Yeah.
It's also hard for you to get to the point where you're 4 months pregnant and you've not known. But of course, I say this knowing that there's many nuances, there's many complexities.
Yeah.
But I think generally, as a rule of thumb, abortion should be a thing of last resort. You know, like, if you don't want to get pregnant consensually, you can try and take some steps to avoid it. But also considering that I have that information, I know how to not get pregnant. Someone else doesn't have that information. I worked as a social worker for some time. Shout out to Pauline Akinyi. She's a really, really cool woman. And I got to learn a story whereby there's a young girl who got pregnant. I think she was 14. And she had slept with someone who's around the same age as her. It was consensual. Just teenagers. Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah.
And they used protection, but she got pregnant. But the way the condom was applied, I think he had put it like on his finger or something. So you see, lack of information. And I'm not
they're
making
still
this
still
up.
kids and they're learning. They're not
Yeah,
sure how they're supposed to.
You don't know what you're supposed to
get
do
you.
with it. You know, if I use this, I won't get pregnant.
Okay.
But you don't know what to do with it. And this time you're living somewhere in Kajiado, very remote place.
In fact,
You
those
don't
places,
have that
they-
information.
Even
Forget
the supply for the condoms
even
might
if you
not
do
be
have
there.
the information, exactly. So you see, these situations are very nuanced. I'm 15.
Yeah.
Maybe I might not even know I have a ball
True.
until I don't know when. What are my options, you know?
But that's what I'm saying. But you see, like, those are isolated incidents in the wait.
No, I was
in the
agreeing with you.
rural areas. But in the city, we wouldn't want. I think it's because why it's still illegal, because we understand how things can go out of hand.
Yeah.
And at times, I also still say this on the podcast, at times, as men, it's also still our job at the end of the day to protect women. And at times, as much as we protect women, we do also protect them from themselves.
Explain 10
Okay,
marks.
listen, 10 months. Okay, now I understand. Now, have you seen, like, even just recently, the trend of, like, useless things I got my child on TikTok, and then somebody posted baby
I
daddy?
think I saw so.
You haven't seen that?
Wait, I think I saw like something along the lines of that trend this morning. But you need to understand.
Oh, you haven't seen?
My interactions with TikTok lately have been very.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, just completely different. But it's like there's a song like plays behind the scenes, and then behind, like on the background, and then somebody shows a picture of their kid, and then they show the baby daddy, and you can see like so many women just posting. But now that opens up the conversation, and you know, this has always been like in a debate in like just on YouTube over the past 2 to 3 years. Like, you know, a lot of the times, like, and we're saying like, forget about the incidents where somebody's taken advantage of, but we're just talking about like where women have that choice of like saying like, okay, I want to have a kid with this guy. But now you should have seen like now just the pictures of the baby daddies that were being posted. You're just like, you really wanted this guy. Like, we're all seeing it. Like, he's not capable of taking care of the kid.
Stop.
No, 100%. Like, it was so crazy and wild to a point where you're like, I just don't understand. How did this guy convince you?
As for me, I'm not in the business of judging anybody's decision.
Oh, we should judge. Absolutely.
No. For
I
me,
show you a picture of one
I'm
baby
not-
daddy, and then you tell me if you can accept. He can convince
but I'm
you.
not. He's not my baby daddy, so why
But
should
I just want to show you a picture.
But he's
Just
not.
they won't see,
John.
but I just want you to tell me like your feedback, right? Because I could see, and the kid is so beautiful, by the way. I'm
You
just
see,
like such a
that's
nice
beautiful.
blessing.
That's good. At the end of the day, actually, I've been in those situations where
Yeah.
you've dealt with, like in my family, you've dealt with babies, unexpected babies.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when the baby comes, that's the only
This
thing
was
that
the baby
matters.
daddy.
Oh, he's a bit young though. Huh?
Yeah.
He's a child. That's what I've noticed. He's a child. How, is he like even a?
Yeah,
an
he's
adult?
legal. He's legal.
Oh, okay. Then that's not my business. As long as he's legal and
Can he convince you to have a kid for you?
Of course not, but that's me. But if he
Well,
can
say,
convince
no,
someone else,
no.
I'm not gonna judge.
Because I'm not
that
even a woman,
person.
but I'm just like, yo, he doesn't need to convince me. But I'm saying, like, I need to know how he convinced you.
No, actually, at the
but-
moment, I don't think anyone could convince me to have a baby.
Wait, are you in a relationship right now?
Oh, that's entirely my business.
Oh, okay. No, you know, my podcast focuses on health, wealth, love, and happiness. And I'll tell you why at times, even how we look at things at times, depending on whether you're single or a relationship, it's also like a big determining factor on how you approach a lot of different things.
I just think like for the work I do,
Yeah.
like that's just, if I'm in a relationship, only the people that matter will know.
We know Boniface Mwangi's kids, wife.
Yeah, I'm not married. Actually, I'm single until I'm married, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you know what I always say, like, you see a beautiful guest, please be respectful, but, you can always approach them accordingly.
No, don't.
No, with respect. How do you meet people then? Do you even meet people as an activist?
No, like people, yeah, like don't approach me with romantic intent. But people
that's
DM me
not
all the
where
time,
you
like,
are.
yeah. Don't text me like, oh, can
But
we
do
go
they
for a
ask to
date?
take you out for a date or something?
Like in my DMs.
Yeah.
Those I don't reply to those DMs, but yeah, I get them.
Really?
The DMs I'll reply to is if someone like, hey, I saw this, blah blah blah, or hey, the way you DM'd me and you said, hey, I want to have you on my podcast. I was like, oh, okay, cool, why not? Like,
yeah, I had to go straight to the point. Me, I don't like so
that's
many
the other
different
thing.
stories.
Let me give you guys some advice, because sometimes someone will DM me, and I don't know why you're DMing me, but you'll DM me and you'll be like, hey.
Yeah, and then
I'm not gonna respond to that. Stay. Why are you here?
What do you?
How can I help?
Make
you?
it brief so that now she understands if she wants to.
Exactly. Now I'll engage you further. Hey.
Yeah.
Or hey Tatiana, I'm doing this. Do you think you could help me out with this? Or someone can even ask me something like, hey, someone asked me something about, I like that mic you're using. Where did you get it? I'll reply immediately. True. Like, yeah.
But I'll tell you why I've asked about like even relationship. It's because like I've had a debate probably on the podcast, and I've always asked, do you think like now just with the new generation, I think just the battle of gender roles is what is almost like causing a lot of friction between men and women. And
of course, I don't believe in gender roles.
Of course.
Of course not.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, can we talk about this or no?
Okay, I feel like...
Or just give me your perspective.
Yeah, let me just tell you.
So that it's not like a debate.
My relationship with gender roles.
Yeah.
When it comes to social media, I find like social media makes things toxic. So for example, like, okay, Nara Smith. We all know Nara Smith. We all love Nara Smith.
Yeah.
But like, we don't have to normalize the whole traditional wife thing. And I feel like sometimes the algorithm can be so like, men are supposed to be these people who provide everything and buy everything, and you're just supposed to go and do Pilates and get your nails done and like have babies. And it's like, feminism is about choice, right? Like, if that's what you want to do, then do that. Personally, like in my own personal interactions with men, I would say like, is it that gender roles are not present? Not entirely. Like, there are some things that, yeah, I would prefer if a guy does, like pay for dates, right? But I also have absolutely no problem in so doing. And just because you pay for a date doesn't mean that I clean up after you or something silly like that.
No. It's not that kind of thing.
But
I'm just saying,
I
like, it would
find,
be nice if a guy just,
gender roles are like, they are these things in our society that create a society that makes it very unequal between men and women. And so that's why, as a whole idea, I reject it. But yeah, like, oh my gosh, if I see one more person on my timeline talking about the divine feminine, like, I just can't. Like as a woman, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be, whether that's considered masculine or not. And as a man, you can be what you want to be, who you want to be, whether that's considered feminine or not. Like, yeah.
I get